promised back at St James's Park this Saturday afternoon, and what a afternoon it was. Newcastle coming through from 3-1 down against West Ham United, 13 minutes left to play, end up winning 4-3. A much needed win for Eddie Howe's side. First time they've come from behind to win a game this season. We'll be joined by Liam Kennedy in a moment. I think he's still taking swipes on Twitter. Check out Twitter later on to know what I'm talking about. But yeah, John, a great afternoon. It didn't look like it for the most part, but yeah, 3 points, all that matters in the end.
I mean, it was absolutely chaotic, wasn't it?
Same with Newcastle.
Exactly. There's been so many chaotic games here in recent times. Like you think about the Luton game, Bournemouth last minute equaliser on that one. There's been so many chaotic games, and that one was probably the most chaotic of them all. I thought Newcastle looked dead and buried at 3-1, to be honest. I didn't see Newcastle getting back into the game, but credit to Eddie Howe for his substitutions. I think a couple of them were enforced. I think probably obviously a downside from the day is there's more injuries in that department. Team Livramento were coming off. Almiron was on for a matter of 10 minutes before he came off. But the two players that eventually came on, Lewis Hall and Harvey Barnes, made the difference. Obviously Barnes with the 2 goals, 2 excellent finishes.
Really good.
Especially the second one, bang in the bottom corner, sent this place into ecstasy. Wild scenes here at St James's Park, which have had many famous games over the years, and that's one of them as well. But yeah, it's a hell of a comeback. It's a really important comeback because I think if Newcastle had lost this one, I think the feeling among the fan base would have been very, very different. But the important thing now is we've been talking about these final 10 games and the importance of these final 10 games and trying to chase down in European places. They've done that today. It was really important they didn't lose to West Ham, because you look at the table, Newcastle 4 points behind West Ham before kick-off. Obviously, to do them after yourself is 7 points to make up in 9 games to get that 7th place. It's really difficult, but thankfully Newcastle have cut the gap to 1 point, and then European qualification hopes feel alive, firmly feel alive. Whereas if I hadn't have won today, it would have felt like Newcastle were chasing West Ham or any other team's tail. So a really important 3 points for the European race, and I think a really important 3 points for Eddie Howe as well. You could see the delight on Eddie Howe's face and whatever body when he charged down that touchline.
Got booked for it, didn't he?
He did get booked. I think it was his first managerial yellow card. You don't see Eddie Howe get booked too many times, but I think that reaction there shows how much it means to him, probably how much he was feeling the importance of this game as well. The Gallagher end as well. Eddie Howe's not the most animated managers, but he's given the fist pumps to Gallagher. It just felt like a really big win, and Newcastle have had big wins this season. I go back to the Aston Villa one, where I thought that would be a change of momentum, a sort of a change in the season. It didn't quite work out like that, but I hope today is that. Turn around against Everton now, and 6 points from 2 home games will be a big step in the right direction. So a really important win.
Yeah, much needed, and hopefully Newcastle can make it back-to-back wins for the first time in 2024. So yeah, 1 point behind West Ham now with a game in hand. It's starting to look a whole lot brighter than it did maybe a couple hours ago when Newcastle were 3-1 down, and while it was a great win, it wasn't without its casualties. You mentioned Jamal Lascelles coming off, which was an early blow. It sort of sent Newcastle into chaos really, and Eddie Howe recognised that. Probably, maybe, although he didn't admit as much, regretted the decision to bring on Emil Kraft, which he then rectified with bringing on Lewis Hall, which came about as a result of Tino Livramento's injury. Then Miguel Almiron also gets injured. Harvey Barnes comes on. So in some way, we joke that the injuries, particularly in the second half, to Almiron and Livramento were almost a blessing in disguise, because I thought Lewis Hall and Harvey Barnes were the 2 real game changers, and Elliot Anderson as well came on and made a real impact. But then, in addition to the 3 injuries, Kieran Trippier's still out, although he turned up late today.
He confused us.
Yes, because he turned up, but it was half an hour before the team news. But he came in through the players' entrance, fully kitted, without a wash bag though, just a cap.
Yes.
And we were sort of like, right, is he in the squad? Is he not in the squad? As it turned out, he's not in the squad. Close to a return from a calf injury. But one player won't be in the squad for the Everton game. Anthony Gordon, a silly booking, should we say, later on, after playing his part in 3 of the goals. A great assist for Harvey Barnes and winning 2 penalties as well.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a rush of blood from Gordon. I think when you just got the feeling of coming back from 3-1 down 4-3. You have that rush of blood where you're doing everything to try and see out the game. And I think Anthony Gordon has probably forgot the new Premier League rules where if you do that, you get a booting. So yeah, probably unintentional on his part. He wasn't thinking clearly at that stage. I think it was chaotic all over, whether that was in the stands, on the pitch. So it was a desperation to see that game out. I think Anthony Gordon just had a bad error of judgment there, but missing Everton on, I'm sure you want to play against his former club, yeah, but he had a tough time down at Goodison Park last time out. Maybe didn't fancy his former club, but I say that he probably didn't because Everton fans are right up there in the Leazers end. You will have the support at St James's Park home crowd, but yeah, unfortunately, an absentee. I mean, you look at Newcastle's squad for the next game now. They're going to have to put some bare bones. As it's a square pegs and round holes scenario. There's a lot of players out, so they're going to have to patch themselves up again. But Gordon is a huge miss. I think the only times he's actually missed games this season is through being suspended, which is a huge credit to him for the way he's remained fit and being a key player. It was a strange performance from Gordon today because I think it was 1-2 penalties, got an assist, but then there was points, particularly in that first half, I thought where he was really hot and cold. It was quite predictable where he kept coming inside, having shots blocked, but he still managed to make a valuable contribution. So can't fault his performance.
Yeah, great impact from him, and then a great impact from Harvey Barnes as well, who's probably played himself into the starting lineup for Tuesday night. Because make what you will of his season, it's been I'll say stop-start. It's barely been a start. He's only made 3 all season, but he scored 4 goals in 2 really good finishes today.
Yeah.
As you say, the second in particular, the way he sort of shifts his weight and then finds that bottom right-hand corner. Take nothing away from Harvey Barnes in terms of players in the Premier League who can finish from that sort of range. There's not many better when he's in full swing.
I mean, the stats for Harvey Barnes, we looked at from in the seasons previous at
He's
Leicester.
the main man.
Just not like Harvey Barnes here. I'm the middle of man. I don't like this.
Hello.
Yeah.
I have to finish some work. So.
Oh, I thought you were still swinging on Twitter.
It's all good fun. Sorry, bro.
Yes, sorry, I've got Harvey Barnes. I was just talking about his stats where you probably watch Harvey Barnes a game this season and he hasn't had the most fluent of impact in terms of taking players on, etc., and being that sort of live wire down the left hand side. But you look at his stats, he does score goals, and very good goals at that as well. You think about the one he scored against Luton, probably sort of probably sort of similar to the one today, but I thought the one today was absolutely quality. So as a player that scores goals, and I think he's had a really difficult opening. What is it now? 6-7 months at Newcastle. I think it's really important for him that he has an impact between now and the end of the season, and I think he started that on the right track. I think he's obviously injuries, whatever, suspensions. You suspect he will start against Everton on Tuesday. I don't think Harvey Barnes has actually did well in a game that he started so far. So I think it's really important again that he hits the ground running from the start, because it's all good and well being an impact sub, but Harvey Barnes will want to be an impact sub for this football club. He want to be starting games, and I think Tuesday's obviously a real opportunity for him to do that.
Yeah, all the goals he's scored have been as an impact sub when the game's been a little bit stressed. He's found those pockets.
Suits him though.
Yeah, but he has to start on Tuesday because Anthony Gordon's out.
He'll not be happy with just being an impact sub. That's a problem. So it's only him that can change that. But I think obviously another one that I want to wax through about is just Lewis Hall. Harvey Barnes will grab the headlines, but Lewis Hall was absolutely
man-possessed.
He was a man possessed. He was exceptional.
Incredible to watch that.
Fire in the belly, a man with a point to prove. And look, he's had his critics, but I think today, probably without going too far, the £28 million Newcastle have committed, it just shows the potential that he's got, and he showed that today. He's got so much potential, and if he continues to put in performances like that, it's money well spent. I know that's so contradictory of what we've been saying.
No, but look, so I'm just going to come in here because I think it's really important. You've got to say as you see, and what we've seen from Lewis Hall in a black and white shirt so far, judged upon the levels of all the other first team players, we've been below what we'd expected. He was brought in to be a starting left back and was nowhere near, and didn't really look defensively up to it. Wow, today, it was like lighting the touch paper. We've seen little flashes of that at Man City. We all commented on how Lewis Hall came on, looked like he maybe filled out a bit, got forward well. Today, the game was 3-1 when he came on.
Yeah.
He literally brought everybody into the game. brought the fans back into the game with his long busting runs, with his tackles, winning his duels. He ignited a fire today, in my opinion, Lewis Hall, which is why on the live I gave him man of the match. I really thought he lit something in the stadium here today and brought an energy which was, you can't say it weren't, in that second half, they weren't really massively second best in some respects. It was like, I mean, the third goal was on the break. It was a Newcastle corner where they'd worked the ball well and got a cross in, and I remember you looked at me and said, that's better. Yeah. And they went up the other end and scored straight away. But Lewis Hall coming in, it just brought a whole different energy. Shout out for me to Elliot Anderson as well. I've talked a lot and recently about how it's been a sliding doors season for him, and you don't want to end up on the wrong side of things. And he looked like a lad who was trying too hard a lot of the time. Not there. Like, he brought a real physicality and a bit of poise and a bit of composure and a bit of quality that Joe Willock lacked today. Joe Willock was a bit off colour in terms of his performance today. Look, another lad who hasn't played a lot of football, in the last year. It's easy to forget that, but could probably have done with a bit of in out, just ease himself back in. And I think we're seeing that from Joe Willock, that he's gone off the boil a bit. It's time for Anderson. And honestly, on Tuesday night, if they're all fit and available, I would start Anderson, and I would put it up there with Lewis Hall. I'll be starting Lewis Hall as well. Yeah. No questions asked. Even if everybody today comes back unscathed, which doesn't sound likely, even if they were, I would start Lewis Hall and I would start Anderson. No doubts in my mind.
I guess in a lot of ways this video is going to have to be a preview of Everton, because Eddie Howe's press conference ahead of Everton has already been done under embargo, so we can't really touch on an awful lot about it. But
was there much in it? Let's just say, without giving any details, was there much in it so that we could do a video potentially? Unless you're off.
Nah, there wasn't enough. Eddie Howe described Anthony Gordon's.
You don't say what
No, you can't say that. You can't say this because he told the TV this.
Yeah, he did.
Anthony Gordon, red card, a huge blow, and that's a game he wouldn't have wanted to miss. Other than that, it's
just one game, though, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It goes back. Yeah, it's a one-game ban. He's still on 8 yellow cards for the season, even though he technically picked up his 9th and 10th bookings.
It doesn't count.
No. It counts as a red card.
So it's just a 1 game rather than a 2 game.
But he's still on 8 bookings.
So it's a bonus. without it's a negative.
He's still 2 yellow cards away from it.
He would have been 1 yellow card away from a 2-match ban.
Yes.
Now he's 2 yellow cards away from a 2-match ban. But once he comes back, there's only 2 games left. So, yeah, a blessing in disguise, should we say?
Yeah. So he's probably unlikely to get that 2-game ban, you would imagine.
Yes. Yeah. He's dodged it. Very clever.
Bruno's dodged it.
Bruno, incredible how he avoided.
There was a few times where he was desperate to clip a player who got away from him, and you seen him stop. A lot of people have talked about this, in my opinion, about the idea of Bruno not giving, sort of holding back a bit. And I'll be honest with you, I hadn't massively noticed that. Today, I thought it was so obvious that there were times when Paqueta got away from him, and the thing he just wanted to clip his heels and take the booking, but couldn't physically do it. Yeah. But I thought he really came into the game. I thought he was excellent. Fantastic. He's just a fantastic footballer. Isak didn't have his best game and managed to get another 2 goals.
And a great assist, by the way, for Harvey Barnes.
Yeah, he did. It was a good finish out, Barnes, stick through the legs. He's a good finisher, him. That goal under pressure is, you're talking about Barnes, and I've been less than impressed when he's been available and fit. That when he's played, there's never been a performance where I've gone, oh wow, he deserves to be starting week in, week out. That was at the start of the season. I think what he has proven when he comes on, as you mentioned, he's one of the best finishers I've seen. To put a ball in with his left and his right, like he has in the last few months here from the edge of the box, just incredible. And he's quite good at timing his runs. That was very Aston Villa-like, the goal on the opening day where he timed his run right and broke the line. Yeah. So you can see why he's been brought in. He's not as good as Anthony Gordon, and I still think Newcastle need to look to get somebody in on the right-hand side in the summer. But Harvey Barnes is looking, the more that he plays, you start to think, I can see a little bit more as to why you might have brought that in, if he's only going to be a player who has to play when Gordon's not available, or he has to switch things around. And
he offers something different to Gordon in a lot of ways. And
better finisher, really.
More conviction in front of the goal. I think one criticism of Anthony Gordon, today at least, has been cut inside in a tame shot. Probably happened a few too many times.
I don't know what you guys have spoken about for the first 10 minutes, so I'm just going to come in what I think.
Yeah,
the only thing about today is win at all, by all cost. It doesn't matter how they've got there, had to win today. If you didn't win, you're looking to basically become a Premier League also rounds for the season. I think you're looking at a team that if they're just continuing the same vein, will finish 10 or 11, 9, 10 or 11 at best this season. This keeps them in the mix, keeps them interested, keeps them in the fight. And if they then go and turn 3 into 6 by beating Everton, then you would start to fancy them. Whereas there probably hasn't been a point in quite a long time where you've fancied them. They've always been playing catch up, I think, since December.
They've never built on a good result.
Never built on it. So what they need to do now is build on it. And then other teams in the Premier League who are in the same little fight, Brighton, Wolves, Chelsea, whatever happens to you, I don't know. They'll start to look and go, oh, there's Newcastle. They're starting to come into... Even with the injuries, if you start to build a bit of momentum, the players will get confidence, and that will breed confidence. There's certain players playing out there today who haven't got confidence. Check out the live for one of them. Sean Longstaff came as a little cameo.
Aye.
Yeah. Sean Longstaff in the live. Like you have to get
Jacob Murphy as well.
Jacob Murphy. You'll have to cut that up.
Actually, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to cut that up. You can't. I'm not sure you can tell what he actually says, but
He just didn't. He didn't want you criticising. That's what he said.
and I told him you'll never get that criticism on the Geordie journals from me. It's true though, isn't it?
Aye. You were his biggest fan club.
I know.
At the start of the
That's what I said to him.
Hope he's watching this.
Yeah, maybe
No.
he is. I don't know.
Not.
Probably. Probably got better things to do. Anyway.
He probably.
Should have scored a bit.
Where was I going there? What was I talking about? Players playing with no confidence. Sean Longstaff's probably one of them. Lacking confidence in some ways, and I feel like he's a player playing with a bit of weight on his shoulders. We've seen him getting a little bit of a to and fro in front of us at the Millburn with somebody, fighting with a fan in terms of verbals. Who knows what was said? It was potentially justified. Probably was justified if somebody's giving him some stick. But I thought he'd be better today. You can tell when he gets in positions, he lacked that confidence to pull the trigger. And that's just a player who's been, struggling through recently. But there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there. Trying to think of others. I don't think Fabian Scher's been the same player for quite some time.
No, he hasn't. He's usually Newcastle's Mr. Reliable. I mean,
he was brilliant last time here against Wolves.
He was, yeah.
But that has been few and far between.
It's like an outlier, that.
But he was always Newcastle United's Mr. Consistent, where it seems like he's good one week and then he has a dip the week after.
Yeah.
So yeah, have you addressed the substitutions thing?
A little bit.
Sort of.
But I wanted.
We're waiting for you.
Yeah, we're waiting for you because obviously Jamal Lascelles goes off injured.
Yeah.
It's a big decision to make for Eddie Howe. He sends out Emil Kraft, Paul Dummett, and Lewis Hall all to warm up, and then he brings on Emil Kraft.
So this is a game very much you can check back on things and look at it with hindsight. But I'll ask you guys, what was I saying when he made that change?
About how he had to change his entire
4 players had to change position in a back 4. Now, I got on very well with another manager at Newcastle United who would talk me through a lot of these things. And I know this manager, Rafa Benitez, would never in a million years change 4 players in a back 4 at any given time. And I thought that disjointed Newcastle United's back 4, and I thought it led to the first goal. Because you have certain players stepping up, certain players not. Some players new to the game and Kraft didn't link up with Scher, who just moved across from the left. It was 4 players had to change for that one substitution, and there was a substitution that could have been made. I didn't say definitely Hall, but it could have been Hall or Dummett could have come into that team, and you wouldn't have had to have the upheaval in the back 4 that he did. Of course, injury to Tino Livramento meant he eventually got that right, and he brought Lewis Hall on, and this could be the sliding doors moment for Lewis Hall.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't have brought him on if Tino Livramento didn't get injured, but he did get injured. He came on and lit this place up, and there'll be 52,000 people here who are at this game knowing what Lewis Hall is now, where they probably didn't before.
Yeah.
So for me, he got that substitution wrong, and it was only injury that made him switch it round and change.
Correct.
He corrected himself, and look, that you can have credit for that. We all make mistakes. Probably me tweeting it out. It's all good fun. I don't mind taking it on the chin. Apart from Joey Barton. Shut up, you.
I can't believe what Joey Barton replied.
Eddie Howe explained the decision. He did say disjointed Newcastle, as you say, but he said he thought bringing Emil Kraft on over a Lewis Hall, although didn't mention Paul Dummett, gave Newcastle a bit more physicality, a bit more aerial presence that they lost from Jamal Lascelles having to go off. So that was his justification of that decision.
There can be some justification. I can kind of see it, but you're at home. And some people have been replying to me with suggestions that when you bring a more defensive-minded player on than an attacking-minded player, and you're at home, man, against West Ham in a battle for a European place. You don't think about bringing defensive players on. You go and try and win the game, and the game's never won at 1-0. Not with this, not the way they've been defending this season. 50 odd goals conceded. You have to be 3-0 up before it's won. Yeah. So you know.
I told you, didn't I? They need to score 4 goals to win games. We won't score 4 today.
And we did.
I said at the start, to be fair, I said I thought Newcastle were dead and buried at 3-1.
Yeah, I think we're all felt that.
I think it's easy revised, but it's 3-1. I think most people in this ground felt the game was almost dead and buried. They thought it was going and it was sliding, and it felt the way that Bowen started getting on the ball in spaces, and it's like
West Ham fans up there were ole.
Ole up. They went from ole in to them literally crying into their beer the night.
Tell you a real game-changing substitution, Calvin Phillips.
Go on then.
Comes on, concedes a penalty, lets Harvey Barnes go for the winner. It's not a good time for him.
That was probably Eddie Howe's best decision of the last 6 months.
Best transfer decision.
Was to not really push hard for Calvin Phillips because he's been an absolute nightmare at West Ham. I've seen all the stick on social media he's been getting before this, and this is only going to add fuel to the fire.
I feel sorry for him.
I do as well.
Because it's like he's a player that's just cursed and then he can't do anything right. I feel so bad for him. I don't like pylons of players, although it might be culprit sometimes.
No, we never like. This is one thing that I'd never level at any videos that we've done. It's never personal. It's always been a judgment on literally. You're always from the Geordie journals. Geordie journals will always give you what we've just seen there. That might not look great for the next game because it might be totally different.
Yeah.
But that game that we've just seen will always give you a fair analysis. That was a absolutely fantastic. I swore there. Beep. It's just a passion. This was a fantastic win that they had to win. They had to win it, and they've done it from in adversity. I really hope this is the turning point. I hope they have to build on it. But there was also lots of questionables in the game. This isn't a win that suddenly makes you realise, oh, there's a really solid foundation to everything that's going on. No, it was as chaotic and mental as the whole season has been. An unremarkable season so far, with lots of remarkable results, and you can add that to the list.
Yeah.
Definitely up there, isn't it?
Just looking at the clock here, 5 minutes till Curry.
We'll be getting wrong off the Loaded Mag, guys. Do subscribe to the Loaded Mag channel if you want. Some very good Newcastle content, just like what we produce. I like to think we do anyway.
Don't watch the highlights from.
We're getting wrong off some yesterday for maybe our performances. Maybe not you. You scored a goal.
I know, but I cost for a goal, and then I had to make up for it and score a goal straight after.
Some good Geordie journals link up play.
We'll cut that video. We'll put it out. We'll just tag it's Newcastle Fans TV's video, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll just put it in this video. Go on.
It's too much for me.
Yeah, well then we'll pick it up as a show as well. We want more work.
No.
We've got 5 minutes.
We need to get this video up, man.
We do.
People's asking me on the live, they're going, is it going to be today? And I'm like, it has to be.
It's always today.
That's not a criticism of you, Joe.
Who said that?
You do a fantastic job.
Thank you. I do try.
Yeah, let's pat each other on the back. But yeah.
We love this, man. We love it. Win, lose or draw, we love covering Newcastle United. We love having an opinion. Sometimes you'll slip on a banana skin.
Your crystal ball smashed today, didn't it?
I've never said the crystal ball was ever that reliable, though. Hey, well, at least we can laugh about it. I'll probably turn my notifications off for tonight because I didn't really give enough. I think in future I'll give a little bit more context in my tweets. And I think if I'd mentioned Lewis Hall and Jamal Lascelles and that, or Emil Kraft, I would have got rid of a lot of the criticism.
You wouldn't have got the impressions, though, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. It's all Luke Edwards' fault. If you're watching this, Luke, you probably won't. It's your fault.
Joey Barton's fault as well.
I think he's fished Joey Barton in, yeah. Surprised he wasn't complaining about women's football. I don't even think he watched the game because there was a woman co-commentator.
No.
It's not even another video. It's another
That's
talk.
not
For another time. So yeah.
Unless he wants to come on, come and discuss it. We'll have a little one-on-one. Liam Kennedy versus Joey Barton. You fancy it?
I'd love to watch it.
Two kings of waffle. Right, just different agendas.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's.
Joey Barton.
At least mine will be remotely legal. Might just be stupid.
Yeah, we're getting too political, yeah.
Aye, let's. Everton next.
Big game.
You want to build on it? We've touched on that, but yeah. Do you want to wrap up there, or do you want to talk about Everton?
I mean, it's 5 o'clock now, so.
Come on then.
I mean, I think this Curry's going to have to go cold. Yeah, I think we should. I just think it's really important to follow this up. When was the last time Newcastle won back-to-back games? December.
Yep.
So
Chelsea, Man U.
it's the reason where they are, because they haven't been consistent to win consecutive games. If they want to finish in the Europe, they're going to have to put a run together. So back-to-back home games, yeah, it's the perfect opportunity to go and get another 3 points and start making changes as part of the forward things. I feel like it's slipped a little bit in recent months, but you get them 2 wins, and the feeling will be a lot more positive, and there'll be a bit of momentum building, and hopefully that turns into getting European qualification.
That's beautiful. That's.
I've been watching the cloud throughout this video just move across.
Oh, actually, yeah. There's a dark cloud coming.
Hopefully that's not symbolic.
That's symbolic of Sean Dyche's Everton coming to St James's Park. We've had a laugh. I hope you've enjoyed it. We do try to keep things light-hearted on the Journey Journals.
We do.
But I feel like I'm misplaced to be wrapping this up, Dom. Over to you.
Oh, I think that's 3 in a row I've had to wrap up. Okay, yes. If you like what we do, I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, as chaotic as Newcastle's performance today. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell for all your latest Geordie Journals content. We'll see you back here at St James's Park when Newcastle play Everton on Tuesday night.